Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. It's man-made, in the form of a sacred shape. A black magic circle for rituals. Even a mere tree root looks evil in this place. I feel it will grab me at any moment. That path seems to lead nowhere. All I see are rotten tree trunks and naturally formed mounds. As if the trees are just waiting for me to pass by and close the passage for all eternity. The accursed Henna River, lifeless and noxious. Strange-looking rocks, like scars of a long-forgotten battle. I wonder what forces sculpted them to look the way they look now. They are placed in a way to form a strange triangle, like a sacred space for rituals. Each has 3 shallow holes on a flat top in a triangle formation. It's a very tall tree, and there seems to be something similar to a house in the treetop. It's inhabited by dozens, if not hundreds of crows? Damn scavengers. They are everywhere. I don't think it's locked, but rather blocked by something heavy on the floor inside. A very weird and creepy form they have. It's like looking at a petrified herd of giant spiders. Small, with blood-red leaves. I'm going to act on a hunch this time and follow this crawling tree. I was right. Crawling, blood-red leaves. I know what happens to Ida's mother. I should talk to Ida. Madam?
Hello.
You knew Yakov Prenger?
Our former priest. I knew who he was, but I never really had a chance to speak to him. Why?
I heard he went missing.
Many people still go missing, vanishing without trace, as if they never existed. I heard this about Yakov too. Sorry I couldn't tell you more, but I really don't know anything else.
Do you know anyone who could lend me a boat?
There's only one man with a boat in this town, and his name is Arsen.
Are you completely sure? The lake is huge. There should be more of them.
It's Arsen or nothing. What do you need a boat for?
I need it to get to Klek.
Beware, Klek is on the list of forbidden places. You think Victoria is there?
Could be.
Then I wish you luck. Try talking to Arsen. I think he'll help you. Swimming or going on foot would be suicide.
I found a mound deep inside the forest.
What kind of mound?
A burial mound, I believe.
How could you... Why are you telling me this?
I've seen trees that serve as gallows. They were in the vicinity of the mound.
Oh, the purgatory trees.
Why purgatory?
It's where people go to purify themselves from this place before entering heaven, one of the many beliefs preventing this town from falling into complete madness.
A crawling kind of tree with blood-red leaves led me to the mound.
Blood red?
The same color and kind of tree you have here. The mound is completely overgrown by the crawling tree.
And?
It was man-made, erected over what I believe is a grave.
I still don't understand. Why are you telling me these things?
Have you ever been there?
No, not that I recall. I don't know. Why?
I think you did, and the mound is actually your mother's burial place.
What?
You said her neck bent awkwardly.
To one side, as if it's broken.
Her eyes turned blood red, and you heard her scream.
Correct.
What kind of scream?
I don't know. I'd say as if someone was trying to suffocate her.
I believe you saw your mother dying on one of the purgatory trees.
What?
It was probably too painful to cope with the truth, so your mind tricked you into thinking you were not with her when that happened. Can you try to remember?
The trees, and the corpses, and... spiders. Were there spiders?
Shrubs that look like giant spiders. I saw them too. You must have seen the moment when she hanged herself. That is why you remember the neck bending to one side and how she screamed while suffocating.
The blood-red leaves. I remember them now. The ground was full of them. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of blood-red leaves.
You were right and the police were wrong. She didn't go into Carcassa alone. You were with her. Can you remember why?
Oh, Mother. My dear Mother, I miss you so much. I let you do it. I helped you find the place. My mother, she couldn't bear the pain anymore. It was so painful watching her wither like a rose in winter. What am I going to say to my father now? He knew nothing of her agony. She didn't want him to know.
Tell him the truth. He'll understand. Or don't. Sometimes a lie can do more good than the truth itself.
Thank you, Benedict. Whenever I go into the forest, I always avoid that place. I always did, even before that fateful day with my mother. If it wasn't for you, I would have never found out what really happened to her. I don't remember burying her. I don't remember taking the trees. Nothing after her death.
Maybe revisiting the place could help you out. Think about it. Or just leave it in peace.
Maybe I'll go, but not alone. Thank you, my dear monk.
No need to thank me. Excuse me.
Sure.
Its ropes bear some resemblance to hangman's nooses. Makes sense for a town like this. A mailbox? Not sure. It looks strange. I'm not going into the police station. I would risk being taken in for questioning, and they could be conspiring with Hatur. Ivan Kotar, born in 1159, died in 1218. It's an embalmed priest, decapitated. His head is laying on a golden plate.
The Vatican declared him a traitor, an ally of the evil forces. Can you imagine that?
Father Henry?
Henry Istrator, and you are?
Benedict.
A fellow man of the cloth, certainly.
What gave me away?
Your aura. And of course, the tiny crosses on your sleeves. You were saying your name?
Benedict Dochnani.
Ah, Victoria's brother. We finally meet. What can I do for you, Brother Benedict?
I came here to ask you about Arsen and your dispute with him.
Dispute? I don't want to talk about it. Not before I get comfortable with you. Let's talk about other things for now.
You met my sister?
Did I meet her? Who knows? Do I know of her? Yes, as every person, crow, and rat in this town.
But how do you know we are relatives?
I have infinite power, and am highly respected. When word spreads, it reaches my ears first.
I have a theory of what happened here, but I'd like to know more so that I can solidify it. Maybe you can help me.
I'm here for you, brother.
What can you tell me about the mayor of Sveti Kotar?
Ranko Merzel, a lurid creature, far worse than his father ever was. Corrupt, full of sin, and unscrupulous. Gullible as well. He never saw his death coming, even though he knew he was chased by it. I was called to bless his soul before the funeral. Not going to. The very thought of it sickens me.
Who was Ranko's father?
Fran Merzel. He and our former priest, Yakov, founded Maraf Asylum.
I welcomed the decision, but not anymore. Things changed quickly, and the asylum mutated into the same thing it originally tried to uproot.
And what would that be?
Maraf became an island of terror and death for the Catholic community, instead of being a shield that protects it. It was founded with the goal to heal the unfaithful ones, and more importantly, to identify, catch, and execute the Saborans. Now it's a place where our brothers and sisters go and never return from. Healthy individuals full of faith just vanish. Fran had his share of sins, but he founded Maraf with sincere intentions to help the town. Little did he know at the time the evil seeds he had planted.
Ranko was chased by death?
Nermin, his brother, the worst of the Merzel family, worst of all men, an incarnation of evil. Although coming from a Catholic family, from the day of his birth it was clear there was something dreadfully wrong with him. I don't know him well, nobody does. but everyone knows about his deeds.
Chief Noren said he is a moon ghoul.
True, he is a Saboran. Some say even the current leader of their cult. He was once incarcerated in the asylum, but managed to escape. No one can find him anymore. I guess there is not enough will. It's not about the will to find Nerman. He's just a tiny shadow in a starless sky. People in this town dread things they cannot see or feel. The unknowable. They fear it because it is everywhere God is not.
You're talking about the moon ghouls now, right?
That is just a name for the weak. Call them by their true name, the Saborans. The Saborans are not unknowable. They are an ancient tribe that glorifies death, diseases, and pain. Cannibals who cultivate morbid rituals as part of their religion. Sekvra.
Sekvra? I've heard that name before, somewhere.
You heard it because there was a book of the same name, the original copy of which was lost in the 15th century.
Yes, it all happened during the Valais witch trials.
Dark times fell upon that place because of the book. It vanished with its author, a witch by the name of Jadwiga Mazrak. You can see the Saborans are not a complete mystery. Things we cannot possibly understand are, my brother, the forces and entities this tribe worships. Only madness and death await those who manage to understand. It is what happened to Ivan Kotar, after all. Let's leave this subject. I cannot possibly recount centuries of their history in the reasonable time I have now. Maybe one day you'll be able to read the pamphlet I've written on them. Maybe.
Tell me about the asylum's warden.
Hatur. As the head of the asylum, I know he is somehow involved in the conspiracy against the Catholics. I'm the only person in this town who openly criticizes him, the chief, and the mayor. In one way or another, they are all acting against God, and possibly fallen under the influence of the Saborans. What interests you about him?
My sister's husband went missing after visiting him at the lodge.
Nikolai. He was kidnapped. But I feel there is more you want to say.
Victoria met with Hatur last night. They talked, and I still can't understand what happened to her.
So I was right. This sheds new light on the warden and the tribe. Not so much on her.
You think my sister joined the tribe?
I do, although I don't know how. Have you seen any changes in her lately?
That is a question for her husband. After our father disappeared, I went into monkhood. Since then, I barely see her.
When things start to look bad, some people think it's God's fault. Instead of showing him more love, they turn away from him. They don't realize it is only then, when they decide to forget him, that they start to wither their own souls. Sometimes they don't just wither, but rot. Rot until it is too late to get off the path that leads to hell.
The warden is meeting with the Saborans. A boy told me.
What boy?
Anton. He saw them meeting more than once.
Our protege. I knew he had been sneaking out, just couldn't prove it.
He saw Hatur taking Nikolai away to a locality called Klek.
I've never visited that hill, but everyone knows what that place is. The boy could be right.
Victoria abandoned God. I can feel it in my heart. She did it. The same happens to our aunt. She abandoned God, turned her faith to strange beliefs, and experienced a dreadful death.
It doesn't matter what you feel and what I believe. You have to find the whole truth. It is your responsibility. Find your sister and the truth that is hiding with her. I would risk going to the stake if I had to choose whether she is guilty or not. This town has many possible sources of evil.
Where should I look for her?
Begin with Kleck. You might find her there with your brother-in-law, hopefully still alive.
What other sources of evil?
Everyone, including those who impose the so-called law. Everyone could be evil, even those who claim to be faithful. Keep your eyes open.
What about your dispute with Arsen?
Where did you meet that fool?
He's my only chance to get across the lake, and
You need his boat to get to Kleck. So why didn't he give it to you? He doesn't need it. He's dying due to that vampire of his.
his parents are inside the boat. Did you exhume them?
Of course I didn't. I ordered the gravekeeper to do it. Arsen and his family are not welcome here anymore. The man is not evil, merely a fool who let evil do upon him.
What vampire?
Didn't you talk to him?
I did.
And you didn't notice that hideous dark thing on his neck?
No.
That fool got himself a parasitic giant worm, a leech he named Hem.
That's disgusting. But what is the reason you banned him?
I'm telling you, it's Hem. That thing was born and found deep inside the Carcassa forest. It's evil.
Can't he just get rid of it?
Arsen believes Hem was sent to him from God. Can you believe it? He gave it a name and looks to it as his own child.
So what now? Anywhere else I could get a boat?
He is your only chance. And it seems like you are his only chance as well, if it's not too late.
What do you mean?
If he accepts to kill Hem, I promise I will think about reintegrating him and his family into our church again. But I need proof. I need to see Hem dead.
How do you expect him to kill the thing he sees as his own child?
That is the tricky part. I already tried to persuade him. Now it's your turn. If you succeed, you will get what you want.
You will just think about reintegrating him, or you will do it?
I'll do it.
Immediately after I give you a dead Hem.
I promise.